Hi, good morning everybody. How are you doing today? Hope everything's going well. Okay, so we're back together again. I'm going to try and do some little playing around with the video today. It's not going to do an awful lot of difference in terms of quality, I'm afraid. I think that's down to the webcam I'm using up there. And I can't really do anything about that at the moment, I'm sorry. But anyway, I'm going to try and put some graphics into the video and play around a little bit. I don't know how it will work. If it doesn't work, but we'll try and see. Anyway, okay, so good morning, as I said. Well, good morning, it's good afternoon actually, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, 23rd of March. We're looking at, hopefully by now, we've gone through any questions that you might have had with the work we did in class yesterday. And we're going on to look at 13.2, graphs and direct proportion. Okay, so this is straightforward really. It is straightforward. All it is a matter of putting the tables that we worked out yesterday and putting them onto a graph. And that's all it is. And then the slightly little, not interesting bit, it's not difficult, but the slightly interesting bit is trying to work out the formula for the direct proportion. Because obviously if you put information on a graph, or that way, that way, and back to front. Anyway, if you put information on a graph, then you can work out an equation for the line that you've just drawn. And that's what we're working out with the algebraic expression. God, it's a good word, isn't it? Algebraic expression. Anyway, never mind. Okay, so I'm not going to bore you because you've got all the information here in the book, okay? And I don't want to go through and repeat and just make it boring when you can read all this yourself. You don't need to look at my ugly face. You can read it yourself in your own perusal. Okay, so, but the important things, I just want to pick out the two important things that it says here that are important for graphs that show direct proportion. And I mean, I've highlighted them in my book here. Perhaps you ought to do the same in your book because this is important. The two things that you note when you put the information on the graph is the first one, all the points are in a straight line, okay? And the second thing that's important is that the line passes through the origin. You know origin? Origin is the 0, 0 point, where the x-axis is 0 and the y-axis is 0. The point at the bottom where the two x-axis and y-axis meet. Okay. So I thought instead of repeating and going through some of the topics, the questions that are there in the book, I say you can read those yourselves. I thought we'd look at one of the tables that we did yesterday. And some of them are quite complicated, but the one that I thought we'd look at is I think it was in question 5, where it talks about miles and kilometres. Yeah? Okay. So I'll stop this a minute and then I'll put the miles and kilometres table on the board and then we'll go from there. Okay? I'll be back. Well, you won't notice I've gone because it will just jump straight for you. But anyway, never mind. Okay, so here's our table on the screen here. This was in, I suppose I ought to put it down. It's page 228, question 5. It might be page 229, but I don't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, so we're looking at miles at the top and kilometres on the bottom. Okay? And we looked, easiest things to do, we've got, I don't know, which are the easiest ones here? We've got 5 to 100. The ratio between 5 and 100 is 20. We multiply 5 by 20 to get 100. So we multiply 8 by 20 to get 160. Yes? Other easy ones here, and all of the easy ones here. 5 to 15 is 3. 8 by 3 is 24. Okay? Straightforward, yes? So, two things now, okay? One thing, we want to put this onto a graph. And again, I hope, according to my wonderful programs here, I hope you'll see the graph appearing. But anyway, the graph will come at some point. So you put the points onto the graph. I haven't put this last point on the graph because it makes the graph a bit big in scale and stuff like that, so it doesn't matter anyway. Okay, so when we join the two lines together again, that way. Anyway, whatever. When we join the two lines together, you notice the two things. One is it's a straight line, and the second is it goes through the point of origin. Point of origin again is the 0, 0 point on your graph. Okay. Right. Okay. The next thing we need to do is to try and work out the algebraic expression. That's a nice word, isn't it? What did you do today in your maths lesson? Oh, we talked about algebraic expressions. Anyway, never mind. Okay, so how do we work out the algebraic expression for this? Okay, well, what we do basically, there's two ways to do it. We can just look at the information. So here, for example, let's do that way first, okay? So the algebraic, can I spell algebraic? Yes. So one, we can just, so I am in the shadow. We look at the information. Now here you can see, the easiest one to look at obviously is 100 and 160. So if 100 gives 160, we can divide both of these down by zeros, yes? So we got 1 gives 1.6. So the ratio therefore is 1 mile equals 1.6 kilometers. 1 to 1.6, yeah? Okay, oops, run out of space there. I'll go back. Right? Sorry, slight technical issues here. Okay, so that's the first way of doing it. The second way of doing it, which I guess is the same, I'll take this off, okay? You can stop it and rewind if you want on the video if you need to look at it again. The other way you can do it is you can divide it. And the second way is to divide. So you've got 8 divided by 5 equals 1.6. And we know that's right because any of these gives the same answer. 24 divided by 50 equals 1.6. Now the thing with a direct proportion, anything can be written down in a formula of y equals something times x. Okay? And basically all we're trying to work out is find out what this number here is. And I say you can do that in the two ways. You can either just look at the information, or you can do division here, and basically this number is this. So the algebraic expression, yes, that's right. The algebraic expression for this table is when obviously the kilometers is y and the miles is x. The algebraic expression is y equals 1.6x. And that's all there is to it basically. So the easiest way to me, get your calculator out. You know how to use calculators? I'm sure you all in grades. Get your calculator out. Any one of these, divide the bottom, divide the y value by the x value. Okay? Divide the y value by the x value, your calculator will come out with a number. In this case it's 1.6, and all the algebraic expression is simply y equals 1.6x. And that's it. Okay? So there's more wonderful exercises to do as we carry on over the next pages, looking at pages 232 and 233. Okay? Some of them are a bit tedious because you have to draw graphs for them. Okay? But never mind, get your graph paper out and your exercise books out and things like this, and do your do your graphs, okay? So I think there's 3 of them that you have to draw graphs for, but the rest of them you can actually just work out on the paper on the book and stuff. If there's any questions, come back to me, and then we'll see how we go. Alright? Okay, thanks very much. Bye.